Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about the environmental changes that can affect our health. Environmental change is a change in the world's weather systems that occurs over decades. Most of the recent changes in our climate have been brought about by human activity. These changes will have significant consequences for our health, well-being and safety. Effects of climate change include increasing air and sea temperatures, changes in rainfall patterns, more frequent and increasingly severe extreme weather events, and sea level rise. Environmental change may affect our health and well-being through the impacts of extreme events, worsening air quality, changes in the spread of infectious diseases, threats to food and water quality and quantity, and effects on our mental health. There are things we can all do to build our resilience to the effects of climate change and help slow its pace. Our health is closely linked in the environment we live in. Environmental change is caused by increases in the amount of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide in the atmosphere, which cause the Earth's average temperature to rise. Greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere, raising air and sea temperatures. They are primarily produced through the burning of fossil fuels like coal for electricity generation, as well as through agricultural, mining, land management, and transport practices. The effects of environmental change are already being felt. Because of global warming, Australia's climate has warmed an average by 1.4 degrees Celsius since official Bureau of Meteorology records began in 1910. In Victoria, the average temperature has increased by just over 1 degree Celsius across the state since 1910. With this amount of warming, Victoria is already experiencing an increase in the frequency of days of extreme heat, an increase in dangerous fire weather and length of fire seasons, a decline in cool season rainfall resulting in the lowest stream flow on record over the past decade. Who is most at risk of health effects due to environmental change? Some people are more vulnerable to the effects of environmental change and health. Children are vulnerable for several reasons. For example, children are more susceptible to heat stress and dehydration and are more sensitive to exposure to air pollution and smoke from bushfires. Their immune systems are not fully developed, putting them at increased risk of infections. They often need to rely on adults to keep them safe during emergencies and help them to recover afterwards. Pregnant women are at increased risk of heat stress during heat waves due to the physiological demands of pregnancy. They and their unborn babies are particularly sensitive to exposure to air pollution and smoke from bushfires. Older people and people with pre-existing medical conditions are more prone to dehydration, heat stress, infections, and exacerbation of heart and lung disease. People living in rural and remote areas, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander, people on low incomes and other vulnerable populations are also at increased risk, in part due to the inequalities in underlying health outcomes and limited accessibility of health care and other services. People living in rural or remote communities or along the coast are also at risk from extreme events such as bushfires, droughts, storms, and sea level rises. Extreme weather events. The effects of climate change are already being felt through more frequent and increasingly severe extreme weather events such as floods, severe storms, and heat waves. Staying healthy in a changing climate. There are many simple actions you can take to protect yourself and your family from the impacts of climate change. How to cope up and stay safe in extreme heat. Over the last century, average temperatures in Australia have increased and heat waves have become longer, hotter, and more frequent. This trend is expected to continue as the world gets even warmer. You can stay healthy in the heat by drinking plenty of water, never leaving anyone in a car, staying somewhere cool, planning ahead, checking in on others. Stay safe from mosquito bites. Warmer average temperatures can mean earlier spring seasons, longer warm seasons, shorter winters, hotter summers, and more frequent flooding events. As a result, conditions may become more hospitable for mosquitoes that can carry diseases such as Ross River virus disease, and Murray Valley encephalitis. I hope you like my video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.